Now doctor, you have to give me one answer. This question will definitely come in tomorrow's NEET PG. What is the challenge for the examiner of NEET PG? Every day he need to create how many sets? 240 means 500 questions for 15 days means 7,500 question bank. Examiner will get cerebral edema and he is not expected to show any repeated questions. And next year he can't reuse the same. Every year he need to recreate. Very difficult. So definitely 80% of paper is going to be like a skating. Now tell me doctor, what is this inheritance pattern typically? That's good. Dr. Dilip is the first to answer saying that autosomal recessive. That's good, that's good. Nobody said autosomal dominant, I am disappointed. Everybody is correct means, there is no role for me. At least I tell that I am going to help you out and that's how we make the living. So you are all right means what is the purpose of us? That's good doctor. 1/4 of the offsprings of the two carrier parents are affected. And it is usually seen in only one generation. Why only one generation it is seen? Father has the autosomal recessive disorder, not the child. Why? Autosomal recessive disorders are all the disorders that affect the rate limiting enzymes. They appear right in the childhood and there is a mortality before the person reaches the reproductive age group. Hence he won't produce a child with the same defect. Whereas autosomal dominant are milder and they appear at the age of 35-40 by the time he produces the children who carry the abnormal gene. So if you take a pedigree, if you find only in one generation but not in the other generation means it is typically a autosomal recessive disorder. Only father became doctor, grandfather, father became nothing, grandson totally ABCD also he is unable to study and passing 5th class became difficult. It's an autosomal recessive problem fundamentally. If everybody is excelling, neurosurgeon son becoming cardiothoracic surgeon and his son becoming transplant surgeon, yeah, it is an autosomal dominant pattern. Of course, intelligence has nothing to do with genetics. It has more to do with troubles in early part of life which act as a driving force. If they are missing, we don't become anything. If they are available, if troubles are available, we get the drive to show something, prove something and become something. Okay doc? So, aromatase, typically what does it do? Androgenic precursor into the estrogen, it basically converts. Calcium absorption, vitamin D is required. After the fasting, it is the glycogenolysis is the first method of producing glucose, then comes gluconeogenesis. Ornithine transcarbamylase, what does it basically do? It combines ornithine with carbamyl phosphate to lead to the formation of citrulline. Urea cycle doctor, one question definitely comes, which steps in mitochondria, which steps in cytosol, which are the rate limiting steps, everything you must be very sure. Homocystinuria is due to cystathione beta synthase is what need to be remembered. Okay doc, let me wake you up from the sleep. Who will answer this question? Elevated LDL because of a defective LDL receptor is called as which hyperlipoproteinemia? Type 2A is an answer we get from Guntur. Anybody like to challenge that? Is it not 1B, 1C, 3D, 4E? I think we get some answer like 5F also. There is no 5F. Okay. 2, 2, 2. Everybody stands on 2. 2A. That's good. One big clap to our Guntur students. Dopamine, norepinephrine, epinephrine. They're all tyrosine derivatives basically. Mevalonate. Basically, how is it formed, doctor? You know HMG-CoA reductase. What does it do? HMG-CoA reductase converts HMG-CoA into mevalonate. Ultimately, mevalonate typically lead to the formation of squalene, from squalene geranyl phosphate to ultimately leading to development of cholesterol. So basically, there are 6 molecules of mevalonate for each molecule of the cholesterol. If you go to the cholesterol biochemistry, a low HDL below 40 is a predisposing factor for atherosclerosis is what need to be remembered. In surfactant you have a lot of phosphatidylcholine, which is the predominant form of the phospholipid. Then it is a white adipose tissue, which is a very important location for the storage of the triglycerides is what need to be remembered. Okay, doc, let me wake you up. For all these disorders, what is the common inheritance pattern? Bruton's gamma globulinemia, Wish-Kotalrich, Fabry, G6PD, Lesch-Kenihan, Dukins, Hunter. X-linked recessive, that's good. Our students are shooting the answer from Warangal everywhere, that's good. X-linked recessive. A 42-year-old, lab score is high. If the lab score is high means it is a leukemoid reaction. If the lab score is low means it is myeloproliferative disorder, like CML is what need to be remembered. Now, there are prominent germinal centers in follicle with atypical lymphocytes in the peripheral smear speaks of infectious mononucleosis. Typically in ITP, spleen is normal. If there is a splenomegaly, it is not ITP. Though there is no splenomegaly, splenectomy is the treatment of ITP. What a paradox. Now, why spleen is never enlarged in ITP? Because ITP is an auto-antibody destruction of the platelets which has nothing to do with extravascular breakdown. There are auto-antibodies. But why do you do splenectomy? After the auto-antibodies attach with the platelets, they reach the spleen, and inside the spleen they will be slaughtered ultimately. Hence, to decrease that we remove the spleen, though there is no splenomegaly, right? Now, a 51-year-old, WBC count is 7590, but MCV is 132. What is the normal MCV, doctor? 80 to 85. If the MCV is 132 means he is definitely macrocytic, megaloblastic, right? So, what are the causes of megaloblastic anemia? Megaloblastic. How do you evaluate? In a peripheral smear, we find hypersegmented neutrophils. So important is this finding that even one hypersegmented neutrophil, if you find in peripheral smear, it is diagnostic of the megaloblastic anemia, is what you have to ultimately remember, doctor. Now, membranous glomerulonephritis, minimal change disease, they all lead to the development of nephrotic range proteinuria. Now, shoot me an answer. What is that X-linked defect, which is due to the methylation and expression of the FMR1 gene, which is the second most common cause of the genetic mental retardation after Downs? And typically there is a macroorchidism, long face with a large jaw, with the everted ears, with mutism, with mitral valve prolapse. What is that X-linked defect basically? That's right, the name itself says Fragile X syndrome. So, if you have Fragile X, you get the extra large testis, extra large jaw, extra large ears, is a way to remember. Classic and alternating complement component pathway. All our online students have shouted out the answer as Fragile X. I am very happy. Now, doctor. So, okay, let me get one small sample. How many of you have a Facebook account? Can raise the hand? That's good. So, join us. We are raising a Facebook account for the website. Join us. We have no other work until November 15th. So, we keep shooting you a lot of downloadable PDFs or good questions or any updated videos hosted on the YouTube from us, so that we keep your enthusiasm for preparation on and current. Good that we are all now ready for an online scenario. Now, doctor, classical and alternative pathway. Yeah. So basically, if you look at the classical pathway, it requires C1 activation by the antibody, which is complex with an antigen is what you have to fundamentally remember. Now during acute inflammation, what will integrins will be doing? Typically integrins will be attaching to the selectins on the endothelial cells. So we have got integrins and modified glycoproteins like CLI Lewis X modified glycoprotein. They are present on the surface of the leukocytes and they attach with the selectin on the endothelial cells. That's how at the time of inflammation the WBCs will get an opportunity to stick to the vascular endothelium in the inflammation is what need to be remembered. What is missing in the today's class is test is apoptosis. All the next 15 tests we wanted to give one question definitely on apoptosis every test, because apoptosis invariably is the part of the DNB question bank which you have to be very sure about.